Hey, what's going on everybody? Before we get into today's video, we're going to do a couple of things. Number one is we're going to give away another piece of Christopher Scott merch. Make sure you pay attention during this video and enter as it tells you to. So the other giveaways are over at this point. We're going to be announcing the winners from the last two YouTube videos in just a moment. So with that, let's get into today's video. Hey, what's going on everybody? Well, we are back for another video today. In today's video, we're going to be focused on one very specific type of fish, one of my favorite fish actually, and they are so easy to care for. They have great personalities. They don't require a whole lot. However, we're going to give this particular type of fish an entire setup, and we're going to give it some friends too. So, the fish we're talking about today is the Betta fish. And as you noticed in one of my last videos, I did this whole fallen tree scape, and in fact, I'm going to show you that right here. I mean, look at this thing. And also, the Betta was hiding out the last time, and you can see it perfectly in this shot here, and he is doing fantastic in his new setup. The difference in today is we're not going to be focusing on male Bettas. We're going to be focused on female Bettas. Specifically, 5 female Bettas. And why? Because we're going to be building out a sorority tank, a fully scaped, planted... Dang, Johnny, you eating the shrimp, aren't you? Like the angel... I gotta just stop and show you here. The angelfish are straight up just munching on the shrimp. I put shrimp in here for my bottom feeder. So the albino red-tailed shark eats it, the Cory catfish eat it, the bala shark eats it. I mean, pretty much everything that's a bottom feeder in here eats the shrimp. So I always put a little bit of shrimp in here when I feed everything else, but I didn't realize the angelfish would eat it, and they were straight munching on it. So anyway, back to what we were saying. We're gonna be scaping out and fully planting a Betta sorority tank with 5. Count them, 5 little girls in it. So we're gonna get out and we're gonna get all this stuff picked up and get back here and start scaping this tank. Brandon here at Aqua Studios was nice enough to get me some baby tears and some, what is this, Brandon? Anacarus, Amazon swords. And these are super cool, right? What are these again? These are like a...
That's a Nubius compifolia. One of the rarer Anubias. I really like them because they're crinkled leaves.
And they also have some red that'll come out in them too,
yeah,
right?
The stems
like
are all really nice and red. They're a very cool plant.
All right, guys. Well, here is our glass aquarium that we have. This was actually an aquarium that was used for guppies at one point that I've relocated into one of the other guppy tanks. So it's fully been cleaned. I just need to rinse it out because it had been sitting outside and there's some stuff in it. Then over here, we have some black planted substrate. This is volcanic substrate, which has great nutrients and minerals in it for your plants. It's already been washed. It's ready to go. The water's still a little cloudy, but that's okay. We're going to be using some product to get that cloudiness gone out of this. We have picked up just a regular internal filter. I've used this in my turtle tank. I used it in my paludarium. It's a great low flow filter that does up to 20 gallons. So as you saw a second ago, we picked up a lot of plants, baby tears. We have some really cool Anubias that's going to go in here, which that Anubias is so cool. I've never actually seen an Anubias like that. I don't even remember how you say it, but you saw it. So yeah, we're going to be putting that in here, but let's get this thing together and go ahead and get these fish in here because I'm excited to show you these little girls. Oh, there's some water on here. Let's use this merch from Christopher Scott to get this off. And where can you find that merch if you want to purchase it and not wait to win it? thefanaticbrand.com, or find a link in my description to exactly where you can buy it. Hey guys, well, we're going to be putting some substrate in this tank right now. So, we're going to start with that much right there. Maybe a little more. How about that? No, how about all of it? Let's just get it all in here. Well, what I did is I went ahead and picked up some rust stone as well. And if you don't remember this stuff, I've used this before. So I did a dragonstone scape with some rasboras in it. And you can see that right here, but this is the same kind of rock. It's a really cool rock. I like it. It's going to contrast nicely with the black substrate. But I have a few pieces of that. I also picked up a cool little piece of driftwood that we're going to throw in here as well. Hopefully this thing will sink. It's pretty heavy. And it sinks. I don't even have to soak it, so we're gonna leave it in here. That's good. I'm gonna drop this rock in here to really wash it off, get all the dirt off of it. All right, guys, got my trusty paintbrush here, and basically we're gonna get this substrate nice and smoothed out so we can start working on the scape. That actually looks a little better to me. So sometimes I guess the simpler things are the better things. All right, so I'm starting to see this come together. So now I'm just gonna backfill where I need to get some substrate in here. Use the trusty paintbrush. Start pushing this stuff off the rock, away from where I don't need it. Well, it's just a rocky, wood-filled scape, but we're gonna get some plants in there and see what this thing turns out like. I'm not sure exactly what I think just yet, but hey, we'll see. Well, I love it when a scape starts to come together. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these plants. Let's get these plants in here and see what this thing turns out to actually look like. All right, guys, well, with the hardscape done, we're gonna start planting this thing, and we're gonna start with this Anubias. This Anubias is actually a really cool Anubias. It's got a textured leaf. The stems on it are red. This is called a coffee folia, I believe is how you say it, Anubias. So it's a different type of Anubias. So we're gonna go ahead and get this in here, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna go ahead and put one on each side here. Now, I'm gonna tell you, these are a rhizome-based plant, and if you notice right here, this is the rhizome, this fleshy, thick thing that all of these roots come off of. You have a root system off the rhizome and then the leaf system off the rhizome. That rhizome right there cannot be buried. If you bury that rhizome, then basically what's gonna happen is you are gonna kill the plant. It's gonna rot. However, everything below that rhizome, this right here has to stay above. Everything underneath can go in the substrate, and that's what I'm doing today. I got plenty of plants that are rhizome based that are planted this way, and they work just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and plant these roots into this tank here. I'm gonna put one right here, and that guy is planted in there. We're gonna take this one and we're gonna plant this one over here. So that one's good there. Perfect. Actually, the scape is actually coming together. Look at that. Looks a lot better with the plants in there. Next thing is Anacarus. Anacarus is a really cool kind of flowy plant. It's almost like a kelp. And I'm gonna plant a couple of these in the back here. We have a few Amazon swords that we're also gonna place throughout here. Let's go ahead and get this thing where it's gonna go, get some water in it, and see what this thing is gonna look like once it's filled up. All right, guys, well, we have the initial scape done. I will be using RODI water, so I'm still gonna have to treat this water to remove the chloramines. And let's go ahead and get this in here so we can take a look at these fish. I'm gonna go ahead and get the filter into this thing, and then we will get some beneficial bacteria in here, get the water cleared up, and get these fish in here. All right, guys, here is the scape. I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of basic, but there's plenty of places for these little girls to hide and get away from each other. We will get those in there in just a minute, but we're gonna start with some more of this wonderful API product, which is AccuClear, to get some of this water cleared up. All right, well, while we wait for that to clear up, let's go ahead and meet these fish. All right, guys, well, we have our first little betta, and she's like a pinkish color, and she's looking really good. Our second one, a little blue kind of stripy kind of color. We have another one that color. She's a little more defined in her color pattern. We have a little opal female, so she's almost solid white. And finally, we have this little red girl right here. So here's what I need from you. If you want a chance to win a piece of Christopher Scott merch, all you have to do, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video on some social media outlet, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. If you don't have that, just let me know in your comment. And finally, I need 5 names for these little girls right here. We're gonna call it the Betta Sorority. And they're the only 5 members. So make sure you give them names right now in the comments below for your chance to win a piece of Christopher Scott merch. Let's get these girls acclimated and get them into the tank and see how they like their new home. All right, guys, well, real quick before I get these fish in here, I just wanna let you know, I'm actually cup acclimating each one of these fish. I'm doing about a 15% water change in each one of these. I'll go through that about 5-6 times, and I'll do that every few minutes until they are fully acclimated, and then get those guys into this tank. But before we get them into the tank, I just wanted to stress the importance of something when you're setting up a Betta sorority. And that is that Bettas by nature are aggressive, kind of territorial fish. Even the females can be. Now these 5 right here actually came from the same tank. So with that being said, I'm going to finish acclimating these little girls, and we're going to get these things in there. All right, guys, well, we got all of the little female Bettas in here. And if you notice, they're just hanging out, chilling, and there's going to be dominance established in this tank from these females. And what you want to do is just make sure that none of them get overly aggressive or territorial. And if they do, get those girls out of the tank so they do not end up hurting or killing one of the other fish. We're going to go ahead and get some ghost shrimp and throw those in here as well. Put some pellet food in here, see if we can get them to eat, but everything in here is looking great. Alright guys, well hopefully you went on to enjoy this video today. I am very happy with the way this tank scape turned out, and I'm very happy with the 5 little girls that we have in this tank. So if you have not entered for your chance to win a piece of Christopher Scott merch, here's how you're going to do that during this video. You're going to go ahead and make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like this video, share this video on some social media outlet, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, whatever that may be, and then comment below. I need 5 names for these 5 beautiful little girl betta fish, and I'm gonna give you 4 additional entries. All you have to do is, if you want 5 total entries, comment those 5 names in 5 separate comments. And with all of that, I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so very much for supporting the channel by watching my videos, and hey, we'll see you next time.